Hello YouTube, what's going on? I hope you guys had a really good Monday. Honestly, I can't complain. My Monday went great. It was my day off, so I relaxed a bit, went on a drive or two. So I definitely had a great day. Again, hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate you. And for those of you who don't know what type of videos I make and you haven't browsed the channel, I make just general information videos and commentaries on my 2022 GR86 and my 2021 Mazda MX-5, aka the Miata. And if you're a fan of any of those cars, which whoever clicks on this probably is, then you have come to the right place, because I post every week. And let me know what you think. But without further ado, I'm gonna tell you about 5 safety precautions that you guys need to take for those of you who are driving in weather such as this. If you live in the Northeast, or you know, a place where it snows all the time, or gets like polar vortexes like we just got up here in Pennsylvania, I'm gonna give you some tips, and I think you could use these tips in any type of weather. Maybe the road isn't as perfect as you think it is, and you can kind of use these tips for you know, for everyday driving in a sense. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my dad had an accident. Well, yeah, a minor accident in my MX-5. Didn't hurt anything, didn't bend anything. He's fine too. You know, nothing on the car is damaged really. He kind of just grazed I guess a pole with the rim, so I didn't see any damage, which is good. Something that I don't have to pay for. But you know, the reason why he found himself in that situation was because he slammed on the brakes on a sheet of ice on the street. Now, I thought that was common sense, that you don't drive like you normally would drive on a sheet of ice. You kind of be cautious and go slower. But it looks like he didn't know what to do at that point. Again, I wasn't there. I'm only going by what he told me. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips on driving in this weather, especially with the manual transmission, because honestly, there was no excuse for what happened to him. So tip number 1, I'll just reiterate what he did. Please don't drive on a sheet of ice at speed. Do not do that. If you see a sheet of ice, try your best to avoid it. And again, I believe that he was not paying attention, and he probably looked up and said, oh shoot, a sheet of ice, and slammed on the brakes because he didn't have any traction and he didn't feel anything in the tires. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. See how you have to drive for other people? It's ridiculous. But when you turn like that, let me stop what I'm saying. When you turn like that, make sure you commit. When you turn like that guy did in that Elantra, commit to it. Just turn it and go. Why are you going slow? You're going to create an accident. But I digress. Please don't push your brakes down on a sheet of ice. Do not do that. That is probably the dumbest thing you can do. And again, you're just going to find yourself flying into a pole or into someone else's car, and you're not going to have a fun day, because now you got to pay an arm and a leg to fix someone else's car along with yours with insurance. So, and your insurance is going to go up. So you kind of don't want to do that. Point number 2, or safety tip number 2. Let's do the quote unquote, it can wait, you know, quote that you hear on those commercials. Texting and driving. I see so many people texting and driving. Please stop the texting and driving. It's just no point. You literally have an iPad in your car and you're still texting and driving, when everything nowadays, especially with the modern cars, has Apple Play, wireless Apple Play, CarPlay or whatever, and hands-free. Like, I have buttons here on the steering wheel that I could use to communicate on the phone. And if you don't want to communicate on the phone and you trying to text, just pull over if it's that important. You know, they even have on the phone a driving focus mode. Why don't you just put that on? If you're driving and you honestly, even if you can multitask, you still should text and drive because it's against the law, you know. But still, just don't do it. Know what you're doing. Pay attention to the road. No texting and driving. Number 3. I was about to kind of give number 3 away, but I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there. Know your limits. If the weather is bad and you know you suck at driving, please do everybody else a favor and do not drive. Order whatever you got to get. If you're hungry, order some food, get it sent to the house, or have groceries delivered or something like that. Please do not get on the road thinking that you know what you're doing because you've been driving for years, and you get out there and you know that even though you have been driving for years, you're still not that good at it. It's okay. Everybody doesn't have the I wouldn't say the talent, but the experience to drive in, you know, unknown terrain in a sense, because you never know sometimes if you're not paying enough attention, you never know what road is icy, what's slick, what's not slick, or, you know, uneven pavement and stuff like that. I don't need you out there when it's a blizzard and you can't even see 20/20, you know, or you don't have your glasses on. You know, for example, I do wear glasses, but I don't necessarily need them to drive. But when I feel like that I am a bit fatigued, or if I had a long day at work or something like that, and I'm just not in the mood, I'll throw on my glasses to drive. I'm always trying to be safe and try to keep everyone else safe out there. And let's see, number 4, I would say, was I on number 3? I think I was on number 3, because what was the first one? Don't drive on ice, no texting and driving, and know your limits. So yeah, I am on number 4. Number 4, this is a technique that I always use, and actually I'm glad that I'm in the position that I'm in, because I don't think a lot of people use these type of techniques. So as you can see on my right, I can see every single car up in front of me and where they're going. I know that left lane right there is a turning lane, and I know this lane is going straight. 9 times out of 10, this lane is going to go straight that way and clear this traffic up. The reason why I'm telling you this is because most people do not understand that they need to... Can I go? I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna let him go. They need to understand who's in front of them and what's going on in front of them. The easiest way to mitigate accidents is to know exactly what's going on in the road. And most people, again, either they're tired, they don't feel like driving. A lot of driving for I would say the majority of Americans, or anybody, especially around this time, is people coming home from work. They don't want to be dealing with anything. They're probably not as focused with a lot of the stuff that's going on, and they're not paying attention as much as they should. And for me, what I'm trying to tell you guys is to exercise, you know, proactive driving, meaning, like I said before, knowing what is going on in front of you. Everything in front of you, you have to understand and read the traffic. You need to know what everybody else is doing so that you are not the one that's putting your life on the line because you're depending on somebody else that's in front of you to dictate your pace. Always go at your pace that you're safe with, and always have complete control of what you're doing when you're driving. And the hardest way to do that is, for example, we just passed a bus. The hardest way to do that is sitting behind a bus, not knowing what's going on. And sometimes you have no choice because you can't flip the lane, you can't change lanes, or maybe that lane is the only way that you can go to get to your destination. But what you need to do is actively find a way out as fast as you can to mitigate staying behind that bus for so long, because not knowing what's going on in front of you is a danger. It's like okay, I'll just sit behind this bus. You don't know what that bus is doing. He could fall asleep. Like, I'm not hoping that or wishing that on anyone, but you guys got to understand, like, it's just like riding behind the 18-wheeler. You do not want to do that. One, they have rocks on top of their vehicles, so you know you don't want stuff to hit your windshield and crack it. Two, these guys have most likely been driving a very long time, and you don't want to depend on them to lead you somewhere. You don't want to do that. So please practice proactive driving, and you know, do what you can to control your fate. Do not let any of these other cars, for example, these guys are all in a line. I see this lane is open and it's going straight. I'm controlling my own, you know, pace, because I'm not going to depend on this whole line to do what I want them to do. I can't drive for everybody, but I can drive for myself. And point number 5, and this is the last point, and I'll end the video. Just, if you are feeling fatigued, pull the hell over. Pull over and take a break. It is okay. A cop probably will come up to you if you're in like a area where there are a lot of cops, but I've done this out of experience. All you have to do is tell them, hey, I'm a bit tired and I'm just pulling over to rest my eyes off the road, because there is a such thing as driver fatigue, and it happens to everybody. Make sure you pull over and keep yourself and everybody else safe. Again, when you are driving, and I teach this to my kids as well, you're driving for everybody, not just yourself. Everybody that's out here, you're driving for them too. Because if you make a mistake, you can cause somebody else to get killed. It's happened. It happens all the time here. You guys know that. You've seen accidents every day. You make one mistake, you can cost somebody else's life, and you don't want to be that guy or gal. So please, if you are tired or fatigued or worn down, if you gotta wait an extra hour even after work, man, I've done it. I promise you. I drive about 400 miles a week. You know, I pull over if I have to, especially on the turnpike. I will definitely go to a rest stop, take my eyes off the road for about 20 minutes if I have to, just so that I am completely alert and driving the way I should be, you know, when it comes to defensive driving. If I know that I'm not 100%, I'm gonna pull over, because I don't want to be caught up in you know, ruining somebody's life because I'm fatigued. I'm not trying to do that. So with that being said, fellas, I think that's all I got. And I appreciate everybody who like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. I appreciate y'all. Drive safe out there, fellas. It's cold. Bundle up, run that heater, and I'll get at y'all on the next one. Peace.